The idea was simple. Survive 100 days in hardcore RL craft. Little did I know, I had just started the most difficult challenge I have ever done. You may think you've seen this type of video before on other channels, but you've not seen it done like this. My idea was to jump into the scariest mod pack in Minecraft without any prior research to catch me by surprise. And boy did that work. However, as I'm sure you are thinking, jumping into RL craft blind is a terrible idea. Will you be 100% correct? The first hour of restarts and deaths were me trying to figure out how to get sticks and make just a simple axe. What you are about to see is the biggest noob struggling through the most difficult mod pack in hardcore Minecraft. Hello everybody, I am MyKey, and today our Minecraft challenge could be the craziest thing I've ever pulled off as we tried to survive 100 days in hardcore RL craft. In these 100 days my original plan was to kill the Ender Dragon, however after loading in I soon realised there were already dragons in the overworld, so that will be our goal for this video. On day 1 we loaded into... what? Oh great, sirens already. Rerun it. Okay, take 2. On day 1, sirens again? What? Next! So day 1, we loaded into a winter wonderland. Excuse me, this is a Halloween video, not Christmas. We'll come back to you in a couple of months. And yeah, we started freezing pretty quickly, so I just sprinted for as long as I could until eventually, I barely made it out. I found a nice mound and dug myself into it for the night, however I quickly discovered that I needed a matchbox to light torches, so it was a dark night. Until I nearly died from this surprise creeper. Between days 2 and 4 I made all my flint tools before going on the hunt for some birch wood, which took way longer than I was expecting, and if I'm struggling to find birch now, how the hell is the rest of this playthrough gonna go? I also found out about the leveling system, which was another big shock, but I figured it out quite easily before making it back to the hole in the ground just in time for night. It was on day 5 I decided to start the build of my house to give me better protection from the many enemies I've yet to discover. The build was a long process which was finished on day 13, and during that time it began to snow. I made my base in the snow and I was gutted. But we got a bed finally, so we can now skip the nights. Day 14 now, and I needed some chickens to start my farm for meat. I was a hungry boy and I needed to keep on top of that. We also made sure to keep the area lit to stop anything spawning too close, or at least, that's what I'd hope for. Wait to see what happens between days 88 and 96 to see just what came out of the blue to attack me. On the 15th and 16th day, I decided to start my wheat farm where I discovered a cool trick for getting water without needing a bucket. You can break the ice blocks, pick up the ice cubes they drop, then put 4 together to make an ice block. Place down this ice block where you want the water and put a torch next to it and hey presto, you got water. However yes, I did realise much later on that wheat won't grow in the snow, but hey, this was day 15 and 16. Moving on, days 17 to 23 were spent mining, and let me tell you, boy does this mod pack make mine spooky. The noises as you're underground, and the fact that screaming banshees come at you through walls was haunting. I did all I needed and no extra searching whilst I was down there, as I was not spending any longer than was required in those mines. I came straight back up and deposited everything into my chests. I finally realised there were clothes made from wool and I could use them to keep warm in this horrible snow, so days 24 to 29 I rounded up sheep and even found some cows along the way. Thank God for the wheat from the mines. We now had all the animals we needed in case we wanted eggs, milk or wool. I may have logged off in between days 29 and 30, and during that time I did some research into fun and useful weapons that could help me in the late game. And as soon as I discovered the summoning staff, I decided I had to make one in my world, but this required me going back down to the mines to grab a few bits between days 30 and 34. I didn't want to talk about any of the days between 35 and 44, but this mod pack somehow made it insanely difficult to find ender pearls for my staff. However, on day 44, I came across whatever this weird structure is. However, I disregarded what it was as I saw an ender portal structure on there, and to no surprise, there were pearls there too, and an enchantment table. I also discovered a strange floating castle, which I went up to, I poked my head around, and I quickly decided to no part there. On day 45, I became Brock from Pokemon, aka the greatest breeder of all time. I also crafted the summoning staff, which I tried testing out, but it didn't quite feel that powerful yet. The only thing I had heard about this mod pack was the necessity to get a flying mount, so on day 49 I took my aviary meat and my soulstone and went on the hunt for anything that was flying and wasn't a dragon. Eventually I came across what turned out to be a rock, and to my surprise it was very easy to tame, but God are his wings so loud. But now I can ride on the back of Robert, the rock. Between days 58 and 59, Robert wanted to tell you lovely people watching to remember to subscribe to this video if you haven't already, and if you're enjoying it so far, don't forget to leave a like if you want to see more of these challenges. Anyway, back to it. Some more days I wish not to relive, but days 59 and 61, I decided to gather up obsidian and head for the Nether. My idea for this was to get in and hide from whatever beasties are hiding there and quickly grab some netherite for some top tier armor. Well, I got there to an unpleasant greeting, of course. I tried to hide underground, dug for a while until I decided to check something out. And yet, turns out I didn't need to be there. Netherite isn't in this version of Minecraft. More wasted days. When travelling to find ender pearls, I had noticed a few large buildings I didn't dare check out at the time. However, I now felt confident enough after going to the Nether to see what lurked inside. So between days 62 and 71, I spent all this time running to different towers and slowly taking out enemies whilst finding some surprisingly good loot. One of the towers I did end up getting a little ahead of myself and I nearly died because of it, but I still live to tell the tale, for now. Between days 72 and 78, I had realised that my diamond sword was scrub level compared to the rapiers you could get, so I crafted myself one of those whilst mining for more diamonds to create a full set of diamond armour. Day 79, I thought about confronting the dragon, however realised I had to get up close to attack him, so days 79 to 87, I spent crafting a new diamond crossbow with diamond bolts. I was hoping that would be the last time I ever had to enter the mines for anything ever again. I was so very wrong. Days 88 to 96, I decided the best course of action would be to have a lot of golden apples. However, I had one apple and not that much gold, so I spent much more time than I would have liked back down in the mines, and then running above the ground finding apples to put with the gold. And to make matters worse, a giant cockatrice dropped on my base out of nowhere. Day 97, and the preparation for the fight began. I could hear his roars as the furnace smelted my gold for the apples. I gathered everything and made sure everything was ready, and it was then that the 98th day was over. Day 99 started like no other. I grabbed my sword, my shield, and my crossbow, called Robert, and I rode on his back to the battlegrounds. And there he was, flying above this pile of gold, not knowing the most epic showdown was just about to take place. I looked the dragon in the eyes before summoning everything I could with my staff, and then began firing arrow after arrow after arrow towards him. He fired his breath many times and I kept shooting. There was so much back and forth, and for a moment, he landed. I tried to take him on, sword and shield in hand, but he soon took to the skies again. As the sun was rising on the 100th day, I climbed to the top of the tower to fire another arrow at the dragon, and he retaliated with an almighty blow that threw me off the top. I quickly got to my feet and kept firing until suddenly, his body began falling. The dragon had been defeated, and I realised that trying to beat a dragon in hardcore RLcraft is actually possible. This has been one of the craziest things I've done, and if you have any more ideas for challenges that I could try out for this channel, drop them below in the comment section and I will try to get around to every single one. And whilst you're down there, hit the subscribe button to see more videos like this where I will be trying a new challenge in Minecraft every single week. Finally, tap that like button to let me know you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one.